It is time to say goodbye to more eyeshadow palettes in my collection. 41, in fact. Sayonara. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Aleisha Budget Beauty. My name is Aleisha. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, declutter videos, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. Yes, it feels so good. Feels so good to be decluttering again. I did my last eyeshadow palette declutter video, I think just a little over a month ago. And in that video, I think I decluttered 50 something, I think, palettes. And I have 41 more to declutter. Now, do the math. Does that sound a little crazy that I'm decluttering that many palettes? That means how big is my actual collection? It definitely got out of control for a while. It got really big. To my credit, I do still receive quite a few palettes in PR. I do not purchase that many anymore. Truly, in the last 6 months, I have only purchased a few C Beauty palettes because I wanted to try that formula out. And then I purchased 2 from Buxom Cosmetics because that is a brand that I have wanted to try the formula really badly. Those are on pre-order. I still don't even have those yet, but that is it. I really take my time deciding on what palettes I want to buy now. There's not very many that catch my eye anymore. So many of them are so repetitive. I still like to review them for you guys, especially the ones that I do get in PR, and there are quite a few coming soon. It never fails. I'll have a dry spell period, and then all of the brands want to send them all at the same time. So I may choose 1 or 2 to show my channel, actual looks that I do on camera, and then the others I'll probably show on Instagram if you guys want to check them out over there. But nobody needs as many eyeshadow palettes as I had accrued at one point. And I've tested a ton of formulas. I know what I like, what I don't like. I know what I have and what I don't need. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna show you guys these 41 palettes that are going bye-bye. All right, so we have 2 palettes here from Colored Rain, and sadly, Colored Rain is no longer. I loved this brand, and truthfully, these palettes are excellent. Excellent formulas. This is the Pretty Chic palette. Excellent formula. And this is the Wealthy Chic palette. Another awesome formula. So why am I decluttering them? I just feel at this point in my collection, me still reviewing palettes and getting some in PR, if I only had a few palettes and I didn't do that, I would keep these. But if I use them, yes, I can have pretty looks, but I can't really recommend them anymore since the brand doesn't exist, sadly. And I have these colors in other palettes as well. So as good as this is, for me, it doesn't make sense to keep them, but this was an awesome formula, and truly, losing Colored Rain is a sad loss for the makeup community, in my opinion. Next up, we have Element Beauty. This is the Ballerine palette. I think I got this in an Ipsy bag at one point. This formula is actually really nice. Nothing wrong with it, but it is not the best. And I have this color story a million times over. Actually, the palettes that I'm wearing right now, it's a mix. This is the cooler, more of the cooler tone one than the warmer tone one, but it's LA Girl. This look is really pretty too for 10 bucks. One of the palettes, the Playmate palette, 10 bucks, has warm tones like this in it. I like my LA Girl palette, and plus I have these colors in still other palettes, so I don't need it, but the formula was not bad. Actually, most of these palettes are not bad. They just don't make sense for me anymore. This is the Minot Étendue palette, and this is by Viseart, and this is another one. The formula is great. The shimmers are not ultra sparkly or ultra shiny. They're kind of those like very subtle kind of shimmers that don't pack a lot of punch, which totally works for some people's eyes. That is what they need sometimes on their lids. This is a very, I think, aging skin friendly brand, which I have aging skin. But again, I just feel like someone else might enjoy this more than me. And I just have other palettes with this formula. It's not bad. Once again, also, if you're interested, I will have my Mercari linked in the description. If these are things that I've purchased myself, then I will probably try to sell them on Mercari. I sell my fragrance and eyeshadow palettes on there. Okay, this is Hold Live Rose Bunny palette. I'm laughing. This is a C Beauty palette, and I got it off Yes Style. I'm laughing because, so here's the packaging. Super cute. Got this little bunny. It's like these warm, springy tones. And then you open it, and this is what it looks like inside. Like misdirect. But I didn't mind this palette. I thought about keeping it. It is not the most pigmented palette. It has more of that, what we used to be accustomed to with C Beauty before C Beauty went into kind of like indie level territory with pigment. This is more of that soft, subtle, like the shimmers are very, very sheer, but it's very flattering. It's kind of this ethereal, almost translucent, sparkly look. You have to kind of want that look, and I don't very often, but when I did wear this, it was really pretty. I just know I'm not gonna be reaching for it. Next, we have a Natasha Denona. I think you're gonna see at least one other in here. This is the Fez palette. I didn't mind this, but it did, I don't remember if it came shattered or if I broke it. So it's got this shattered brown shade in here that I kind of don't want to mess with. I did repress it, but it's really, really messy. I liked the gold in here, and if I could just keep it for these two, I kind of like this shade as well. The blue, I get it that they wanted to go with a pop of color. I kind of appreciate that, but it's not my favorite blue, this formula. So really I'd only keep it mainly for the mustardy shade and this gold, but I have that in other palettes, so that's why I'm getting rid of that. We have a Pat McGrath palette. This is the Celestial Nirvana palette. This is an all shimmer palette except one matte, and this is not my favorite of the Pat McGrath formulas. This is just kind of okay. Honestly, my LA Girl palette kind of looks about the same, and I'm actually still a Pat McGrath stan. I know Pat McGrath has fallen off. Like, people bash the Mothership palettes all the time, and I still love my Motherships, but this one was just like okay, and the colors are kind of boring. We have the Jouer Ultra Foil palette. I wanted to keep this because it's rare. You don't see it very often. They don't carry it anymore. It's an all metallic foil palette, and I used to think it was awesome, and I still think it's really good, but for the time back when I got it, I think it was more exciting than it is now. I swatched a couple of them whenever I was going through my collection for Declutter, and I was like, these just aren't as metallic-y as I used to think that they were, but I think it's cool that they had this back in the day. Like, mainstream brands like Jouer don't really make palettes like this anymore, and I think that's a shame. Like, they need to get back to having fun. All right, by Wonder Beauty, we have the In Neutral palette. This is not bad. It's just so boring. It's so boring. And how many palettes truly like this do we need? I mean, once you have a couple of really good neutral palettes, you just don't need more of them. So it's a good palette, but it's not great. And I have some great ones. So that's why I'm getting rid of that. I have two, this kind of makes me sad because I'm a stan of these palettes, but the Perfusion Violets and Fuchsia palettes. So these are like $5, and they are 10-pan palettes, pretty big pans, and they perform really well. They truly do. I just don't really ever reach for them because I think because my collection is large, when I want to go reach in, I'll grab like a Nomad palette with these colors, or Wicked Widow Beauty, like my indie palettes. And I do still like to keep affordable palettes to show. Like today I'm wearing LA Girl $10 palette on my eyes. But I think when it comes to these brighter colors, I like to use just a little bit better quality, like my indie palette. So these are not bad, like $5 beauty on a budget, fantastic. Next up, we have the Iconic London Booming and Gleaming eyeshadow palette. I used to really like this, and I still do. If I, again, did not have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, I would keep this. It basically has everything you need in here. It has your neutrals, some warm tones, some cool tones. You can do smoky eye, warm eye, cool, like taupey. It really is kind of an all-in-one palette. I'm trying not to talk myself into keeping it. I'm letting it go because, again, I have other neutral palettes that I just don't need to keep this. But again, for someone who didn't have a ton of palettes and they just want something that performs really well, that has all the neutrals almost that you need, it's a great palette. It just doesn't necessarily make sense for my personal collection. The Casper palette, I feel bad getting rid of this, by Perfusion. Adorable. The packaging was so cute. I had fun with this. I'm being tough on my collection. This is kind of collectorsy because this was Halloween before last. But again, it's just, I don't know, like I have tones like this in my indie brands. This is not also, I think, Perfusion's best quality. I have some palettes that I'm like, I love by Perfusion, like the Ethereal palette, fantastic. Some of their little 5-pans that came out last spring, summer, those are amazing. This was a little bit lackluster. They have one shade in here that anytime I talk about Perfusion, when they have the shade, I'm like, Perfusion, please just change all of your shimmers to this. It's fantastic. It's so shiny. Look at that. In a drugstore palette, are you kidding me? But I also really love their Twilight palette. Twilight something. That one has the same kind of purpley blue tones in it. I think that one's a little bit better, so I kept that one instead. All right, next up we have a Laura Geller palette. This came in boxy not too long ago. This is the Candy Cravings palette. This is pretty. I had tried Laura Geller before. I love other products by Laura Geller. I like the complexion products a lot better than the eyeshadow palettes. I did see some people make pretty looks out of this, and they said this was better quality than her others. I believe that. Their looks were pretty. It's still not near the level of my other eyeshadow palettes. Like, it's just not. So it doesn't make sense for me, but oh my goodness, for other people who don't have crazy collections, this would be great. This highlighter looks so pretty in here, and then the blush. So it's pretty just not something that I personally need. Then this one makes me a little sad too to get rid of. This is Luna Magic Uno, their very first palette that they put out. And Luna Magic, I love. They are a really affordable Afro-Latino brand. They got started on Shark Tank years ago. I used to rave about them all the time. I love their eyelashes, their lip products. So they're kind of drugstore, kind of like an LA Girl in that kind of category. And this eyeshadow palette, I really like the color story. I really do. And you guys, still one of my, I think my most watched, or my second most watched, top 3 TikToks was this palette and my eyeshadow look, and then like this outfit I was putting together for this neon party I was going to. And that was one of my earlier TikToks, and that thing is still, I don't know, like around 300 to 400,000 views. I don't know why. So like every time I see this, I think of that because I was so excited back then. Now I don't get as excited, but back then I was like, oh my gosh. It just, though, now, I don't know. It's still like a really good palette for the price. I just don't really need it. I do really like this color story. I'm trying to not talk myself into it. I have these shades other places, but it's a good affordable brand. All right, next we have the Norns eyeshadow palette from Odin's Eye. You guys, I've decluttered a lot of Odin's Eye. I still have the like Hummingbird and Giant Wolves and the Red Dragon palette. I still love those. I still love my, what's it called? I don't know why my mind's going blank, but number 2. Oh my goodness, I cannot think. Anyway, I've decluttered a lot of the rest because they're another brand that I think they reached their peak years ago, and I have had no interest since. Just zero interest at all. I just don't have, I don't know. I just think there's a lot better quality out there now. Not interested, but other people still love them. So someone else will love this palette more than me. The LA Girl Main Stage palette. This is also not a bad palette. I'm just trying to get rid. Color story's fun. It's very mermaid-like. I don't even know if I used this, to be honest, and I had it for a long time. That is why I need to let it go. Like, I have mermaidy palettes. Again, I keep saying indie brands, but you know, it's just when I've got those in that really high quality, I just don't need to keep this. But somebody else, you guys, affordable mermaid palette, Main Stage. Next up, we have the Luis Torres palette by Beauty Creations. This was #1. There was a #2 that came out that I had heard, I think from the brand and other people, that they had improved the formula. So kind of because I know there's a better formula out there than this, I didn't really want to keep it, but I thought this was a really fun rainbowy palette. Like kind of a little bit, not completely, but a version-ish of my beloved Wicked Widow Beauty Resurrection palette. Definitely missing some shades in there to that, but kind of has like a similar vibe going on. That palette is my baby, but this is no longer available. This was limited edition. I'm just not keeping it because I never reached for it. All right, next up we have the Life's a Drag palette from Lunar Beauty. This was #1. Then he came out with Life's a Drag facelift. I have that one, so I really don't need this one. Honestly, I bought this one not too long before the #2 came out, and then I bought #2. This is also back when girlfriend was buying anything and everything. Like, I was loose when it came to buying eyeshadow palettes. Why did I need both? I did not. So I really never even messed with this one very much. I think I maybe created 2 looks with it, and then I got the second one, which I also don't touch enough. So that is why she needs to go. All right, next we have the Perfusion Dear Cupid palette. This was Valentine's Before Last little release. Cute little heart-shaped palette. To be honest, this really surprised me. This was so much better than I was expecting it to be. The mattes performed amazing, very pigmented. The shimmers in here were fun. There's one kind of glittery shade in here. My daughter's gonna love this. It's much more like packaging and everything suited for her, but this quality was surprisingly very, very good. Not because I was surprised, because I know Perfusion can do that, but it just sometimes these holiday things are more gimmicky and don't always have best formulas in there. This was really good. I am parting ways with my Gourmand Girls Spectra palette. This was one of the first palettes, and I have said to Christina before, like, I would love to see an updated version of this palette. Kind of think that the Dia de los Muertos palette that she put out was kind of an updated version of this color story. It wasn't exact, but I know when I asked her, I was like, oh, is that supposed to be an updated version? She was like, girl, no. I'm like, oh, okay. So I thought this color story was really fun, but this is an old formula that she had in the very beginning. Vastly improved the formula. So I got this, and then she changed formulas, and I started using all those palettes, and I really didn't even hardly touch this one, to be honest. This is the Magic Mini by Juvia's Place. Gorgeous palette. Truly beautiful color story. I love this brand. I love the formula. This doesn't have any of the fun shifty shades that the Afro-Galactic palette has that I love so much, or even the Candy something palette. I just try to keep either color stories that were really unique when it comes to Juvia's Place, or that have those fun shifty shades. This is fantastic for someone else, truly. All right, this is your sign that if you have a palette you keep putting on the chopping block and convincing yourself to keep it, just get rid of it. This is the Tartist Pro Remix palette. It was fun. Like, the packaging was fun. It was something, I didn't get it when it was new. I got it way late. And It's actually a pretty good palette. It's very shimmer heavy, and it's a specific type of shimmer. It's, again, not one that's ultra sparkly, not shifty, kind of satiny and a little bit flat. And it only has three mattes in it, the black and then the kind of taupey shades. And you can get some like fun kind of smoky taupey with pops of color. I like the looks that I created with it. I only used it a few times, but every time I put it on the chopping block, I just don't reach for it. So why am I keeping it? It makes no sense. So that's your sign. Let it go, let it go. Elsa, let it go. All right, this is sad. This is sad. This is another Colored Rain palette, Queen of Hearts. And I think at this time, this was such a beloved palette. And you guys, look how untouched this is. It's very, very embarrassing. But this was, this is the height when this came out. And I have another one here. Let me just grab it. That one and Cheers to the Beauty came out. Big old long palette. This was the height of, this one's a little bit messy. I have a shimmer that kind of broke in here. This was height of Colored Rain. Everybody was really excited about Colored Rain. This one's like fun with the sort of like metallic-y things for metallic-y shimmers for New Year's. You have like metallic green, blue, silver, gold, really fun. You've got a highlighter at the end and some mattes. And then this was that kind of almost like Pat McGrath looky color story here. And then you guys, but it's just, she's out of business. it doesn't make sense for me, but others would probably love to have those palettes. I have a KKW Beauty palette in here. Why? I don't know. This is the matte palette. They're actually very buttery soft, but this brand has been out of business, what, for 3 years now? I don't need this. I don't need this. But it was not a bad formula, truly. And I've got those mattes though in other palettes. This is a phenomenal palette. So why am I getting rid of it? Well, I have two. And this one has a broken, busted shade in it. Yeah, I pressed it and came off. So it's like cluttered over here. I don't want to make a mess, but this shade busted. It's a really pretty shade, shimmer. But this is the rest of the color story. This is the Chariot Fleeting Life palette. It is a Sea Beauty palette. I adore it. I need to get this back out. Gosh, I don't use enough of the palettes that I love. Like, this is why I'm decluttering so much, because the feeling about this palette that I feel FOMO not using it. And then I'm like, man, that formula is amazing. It's hard to not compare that feeling to the other palettes in my collection that don't give me that feeling. And that's really what has started my halting of buying so many eyeshadow palettes. If it doesn't give you that true feeling of an amazing quality or performance or color story, you don't need it. All right, this one is a little bit awkward because I adore the creator so much that this was in collaboration with, Smink. Natalia, if you guys know, she is like the most skilled, creative, incredible creator in her eye looks. And not just her eye looks, like her swatches, her lip look. She is amazing. She does have a YouTube. She's on Instagram. Smink Burundi. Incredible creator. Love her. But this was her collab with a brand that we do not use anymore. I think the brand's out of business right now. Saints, Angels, and Sinners. I used to say Voldemort, but anyway, I don't want to get into it, but this brand was canceled. And then I think out of business now. This was such a fun palette. I was so proud of Smink. I just know I'll never really use it and tag it because of all the behind what happened. But I want Smink to do another collab because I would support her in a heartbeat. This pains me a little bit. This is the Serpent palette by Mika Beauty or Micah Beauty. I love this color story. I adore it so much. The quality wasn't, I honestly think, okay, let me be real. Color story, A++++. Quality, of the shadows was like a B. And for the price and the shipping and all that, I don't know if it was worth it, but if like some of my favorite formula brands were to do this exact color story, I'm not encouraging them just to steal this color story, but I'm just saying like DD Signature, Wicked Widow Beauty, Glaminatrix, like those type, Nomad, Gourmande Girls, like those, if they did this color story, it'd be A+ all around. But I kind of have like a negative connotation with this palette as well, just personal thing. So yeah, it's a pretty color story and I'm sad to let it go, but it wasn't the best quality anyway. All right, we have the Huda Beauty Nude palette, nude palette. This was gifted to me by a friend who's not a creator, and I was really, really grateful. I think it's pretty. Like, I really, really do. I know this is classic. I only used it once, so I could like send her a picture of the look. I have these colors though in other palettes that I just prefer the formula over Huda's formula. So I wanted to keep it in good condition so I can actually, you know, maybe gift it along as well. We have two by Color Spell. Okay, these are not bad at all, but you guys, I've said this, I don't know how many times, blue in the face. What happened with this brand? This is a Profusion sister brand, and they sent me, when this launched, they sent every single product, everything in the Color Spell line. It was tons of products, and I tried them all. I spent a lot of time with it. It was supposed to be at Dollar General. I have still never seen it at Dollar General, and you can't buy it online. So I don't know who actually has these, but why launch a brand in one store and have it maybe in a few of them, but not all of them? It makes no sense to me. And these are not bad. They're really cheap, kind of like packaging and everything, but they're like cheap palettes, like $5 or something for all these shades in good quality, but you can't get them anywhere. All right, I know some of you are gonna be like, the Jackie Aina palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I know there's some people that have that like really strong connection to their collection, memories and all that. I totally get it. I don't feel that way with makeup anymore. I don't feel that way with like, I used to want to collect certain brands. Like I wanted every single palette from Nomad and every single palette from Adept, and I do get Nomad in PR, but I purchased all the palettes that I didn't own at one point before I started getting it in PR, even like the little small ones, and I've decluttered almost all of those now. I only keep the palettes that I love, and I just don't have that attachment. So like I don't feel attachment to this palette like other people do. So it was iconic at the time. Gorgeous color story. I know it's a fave of many. It was done really well. I love like the iridescent packaging. I just don't ever use it, and I have way better. I don't have a connection to it, so I'm letting it go. All right, we have this little palette by Reina Rebelde, and this is the Serena palette. This came in Ipsy. I only kept it for one shade. This is like this iridescent, awesome, like minty green shimmer that in the inner corner is like awesome, but the rest of it kind of sucks. So I don't need to keep it for that one shade. I've got singles that I never touch, indie singles. Why am I not using those for my inner corner? I don't know. Okay, Mora Beauty Modern Beauty Palette. This is actually awesome. I bought this whole bundle a long time ago. So there were like 3 others, I think, all kind of neutral leaning, but with different tones. This is that sort of peachy rosy tone. I just don't really wear a ton of these type of shades, but the quality is great and very, very affordable. I do have a code with Mora if anyone ever wants to use it, by the way. Save some money on an already cheap brand. Speaking of Nomad, so this is the Venice Simplon Express palette. This was like the smaller version, I think, of the Orient Express palette. I decluttered that palette, and then I'm decluttering this one. It's not Nomad's best formula. They have improved so much over the last like year and a half. I can't remember when they started to kind of switch their formula, but it's just, this used to be, like their formula back in the day was awesome for then it just got dated and it's better now. I don't need this palette. I don't need to collect it as much as I love the brand, but okay. The Daylight palette, Alter Ego. This is another really, really good palette. It is a clone of Natasha Denona. Alter Ego, that's what they are. They clone either Natasha Denona, Huda, Anastasia, Beverly Hills. I know they have, I'm leaving someone else out. Anyway, I love this brand. I work with them. I think their palettes are awesome. I just, again, like, as much as I like this, I don't need a ton of these colors in my collection. That's the only reason why I'm getting rid of that. It's a really good affordable palette. Il Maquillage, this is the Color Boss Master palette. At one time I really liked this. Can't you see all these colors? Like, you see how many neutral palettes do we need? Okay, but this was one of those, like, I see why it's called like master palette. This is kind of like makeup artist. Like, this would be great for weddings. It's very pretty and kind of professional. It doesn't ultra stand out. Like, nice for like maybe headshots, like that type of formula. But that's just not what I'm wearing every day. The packaging is very, very luxe though. Okay, Dominique Cosmetics. This is the Essentials palette. This is another one that I was like, it's on the chopping block. Like, I don't know. No, why to keep it? It's so subtle. Like, it is not very pigmented. It's very soft. And there is an audience for this. If you like minimal makeup, then you would like this. But it's just not something that I prefer. I have another LA Girl Pro Mastery palette. I really, really liked this palette at one point. Again, phenomenal for the price. And these are kind of those colors though that I don't always reach for, but if you're a rosy mauve tone, I do like those. Just maybe that berry isn't always what I reach for, but it's great. I just don't need it. And another one, the Hey Hey Vacay. I used to want to collect these so bad. Why? I had so many. I still have a few, but these are just ones I don't reach for as much, as good as they are. But that is it, you guys. Those are the 41 palettes that I am saying goodbye to. Moral of the story: don't go down the rabbit hole that I did with just thinking that you have to have everything, having a collector's mentality. I mean, if you do want to be a collector and you have the space for it, and like you like to have a makeup museum, there are people that do that, and I think that's awesome for them. But I don't think that's very many. That's a minority. I think a lot of people get sucked into that, never planning on it, not having the room or the funds for it. And you will see that you don't use a lot of it, or you dupe yourself, or you use palettes that aren't your favorite because you're saving the other ones for what? I don't know. So I hope that this helps you do some decluttering yourself and just thinking twice before you go buy every palette that comes out, because let's face it, there's just too many too fast these days, in my opinion. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.